Apprehend God in all things, for God is in all things. Every single creature is filled with God and is a book about God. Amen. Happy holidays to you. The holidays are here with us, right? Just got finished with Thanksgiving. And we lit lots of candles. No, we lit the first candle for Advent today, and that's great. So we're in the middle of or the beginning of our holiday season. And you know what being in this holiday season means, don't you? You know what it means? It means leaves. Leaves from the tree. My life is about leaves from the tree. Right? Do you guys do your own leaves? If you don't, then this isn't going to work for you. But leaves from the tree. You know, I was doing those over the weekend, and it just got me remembering about the first time I ever did leaves, and it was here in Knoxville. I'd never done leaves before we moved here. Seriously. It just wasn't part of my life, wasn't part of living in Florida. And so I didn't have anything to do, any tools. So we went off to Sears, good old Sears, and got a rake and got one of those little blowers, you know, because why would you need anything more than a little blower? I found out why. and a tarp. And set off to do the first time I ever raked leaves. I was like excited. This is like, wow, this is cool. That lasted for a while. So I'm doing the leaves, raking, and my neighbor comes out. And he just stands there and he's looking at me. Kind of like how some of you are looking at me right now. And he's just looking at me. And he goes, I stop, I look up. And he goes, what are you doing? And I was like, is this a trick question? I'm raking leaves. And he goes, why don't you just wait till they all fall off the tree? Because you're just going to have to do this again. And I looked at my ground and I was like, yeah, but it was covered. And if I just waited, I didn't know how thick it was going to be. So I just went on and did it. Spent the whole day, cleaned the whole yard. It wasn't as exciting as I initially thought it was going to be. But it was still, I did it. And went inside, got something cool to drink, sat down, looked out the window, and one leaf falls off the tree and lands on, and he was right. After the end of that day, you couldn't tell I even did it. So I was like, leaves. You're right, I got to do them all the time. Now, one more thing during the holiday season, one more thing to worry about. Doing leaves. And I don't know about you, but I think the holidays are stressful enough to I don't need one more thing to worry about. Do you? As a matter of fact, I think the holidays we worry quite a bit. And we don't need anything else at all to worry about. And the thing about our worries is there's nothing wrong with them. It's just they're kind of debilitating, aren't they? And I ask people over and over again, well, what are you worried about? Why are you worried about this time of year? What's going on? Why are you running so hard? Why are you stressing so much? And pretty much everybody gives a very similar answer. Not identical, but very similar. And it kind of boils down to, well, I just want everything to be perfect for my family on Christmas. I just want things to be right for the people I love. Now, isn't that a beautiful thing? And isn't that why we do all that we do throughout this season? All the shopping, all the cooking, all the parties, all the everything is to show people how much we love them, right? And that is a beautiful thing. But the truth is what we all know. Worrying about it doesn't help. Worrying about it, as a matter of fact, all I know is when I'm worried, when I'm anxious, I'm annoyed. And so my annoyance is taken out on the people I love, rather than enjoying and being with the people I love. So it's a good thing that we're all here today together, because we got to hear what God has to say about a little bit of an antidote to holiday anxiety. Did you hear it in the gospel? Just a little bit of an antidote to our anxiety. See, the gospel isn't about you shouldn't worry. Just don't worry. Well, that works real well, doesn't it? Okay, it's not about that. The gospel is saying, okay, so when you find yourself overly anxious, so anxious that you're becoming annoyed, so anxious that it might even just be freezing you, that you can't even move because you're so anxious, our gospel says, go outside, take a deep breath, and consider. Consider the beauty and the power all around you all the time. Consider the birds of the air. Consider the flowers of the ground. Consider even the leaves falling from the trees. Consider nature. And consider doesn't mean just like give a passing glance to as you push on to your next thing. No, consider means stop. Pay attention. Really even wake up to the beauty that's all around you. And it will help you with your anxiety. If only for a little bit. But sometimes, if you're like me, sometimes a little bit is a lot. You see, then, when I'm in that place, then I can enjoy the people I love in the season more wholeheartedly and less filled with worry and anxiety. So when you find yourself anxious, go outside, take a breath, and pay attention to the beauty that's all around us all the time. So I was doing leaves the other day, and I was, I wasn't paying attention. I was just trying to get it done. Right? One more thing to do. I was in that mindset. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Get done, get done, get done. And our puppy, we have a 7-month-old puppy, kept coming up to me with his ball. And so I kind of would mindlessly grab it and throw it, I'm doing the important thing, And finally, one time, he came up and he wouldn't let go. You know how they do that? And they wouldn't let go, so we're like struggling around with the ball. And it got me to stop. And I looked up. And I saw. So I put my rake down for a while. And you know what happened? I was a little less anxious than I was before. Amen.